comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar.
And now, another edition of Wrestling with Attitude from Charlotte, North Carolina, the best wrestling podcast out there today. With your host, the intellectual savior of the masses, the Summitt.
If we have any 6'5" women that are interested, Steven's single, lady. D-Generation 6. Bo Generation.
And the mouth of the Carolinas, Little Steven.
Don't be talking to the 18-day champion like that. Bo, conversationalist person. Bo,
Hey.
horrible.
The former 6-month champ, the melting pot, JP.
Just go back and do that, RVD. Go back to Philadelphia. I'm sure there's a bingo hall. You could sweep the floors, give the old ladies another marker.
Little Steve. And this man makes Wrestling Attitude live to his standards. Dirty Dutch.
I mean, I liked to watch Justin Gabriel until he got whooped by Goldberg. He ruined my core.
Yeah. You can listen to us on Stitcher, iTunes, and Spreaker.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook and tweet us at WWA Show. Wrestling with Attitude.
Welcome to Wrestling with Attitude. What's up, man?
That's right. We're back in the saddle again. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. He's
Yeah.
singing again.
We're
He's
back.
singing again.
We're back.
Yeah, finally after 11 days off. I was home. I was in the home of Becky Lynch and Sheamus and Finn Balor.
But mostly Becky Lynch.
I was close, man. I was close. I was looking for her. She wasn't out there.
No.
I looked with the peeps, and I didn't see her.
I didn't know Christian was over there, too.
Yeah, he was on tour.
He was on tour.
He was touring.
Is he as Kristen Cage? Or
Christian.
Yeah,
Cage.
is he Christian
Not
Cage?
Kristen.
Get it right,
Come on,
sir.
come on.
man.
What's wrong with you?
Come on.
And, of course, I'm the Summitt, and across the table, the man behind the glass, I wish, the mouth of the Carolinas, Little Steven.
Yeah. It's great to be back.
Finally, we get to do a show
Into
again.
your earlobes and into your houses. That's how
What?
it is. Hey, man.
Oh, man.
So,
I'm glad you're fired up today.
A lot to talk about in wrestling. Let's just dive right into it, man.
Well, actually, I've got something a little bit different today.
Oh, no.
We're not going to go straight into it. We don't talk about wrestling.
Okay.
But we want to go a little bit differently. I want to talk about some news, some stuff I wanted to get into. How you doing, by the way, before we get started?
I'm doing great. I've been watching the network lately. By the way, they got now Raw. They have all of 1997. So if you're a big fan of that year, go back and watch that. They have all the Raw replays of 1997.
1997?
Yeah. So, and then I think after that they're going to start doing 2000s and 2001 because they already got most of 99. So, and they got all of 98 as the Attitude Era.
Just don't watch WCW 2000, which I'm trying to finish.
I'm surprised if they'll ever have that on Nitro. If they'll ever put those on there of Nitro.
They will. They better. I mean, I'm through them. I want to see them.
You think they're going to put Thunder on there?
They'll put Thunder on there. They have to put everything on there at some point.
God, Thunder.
Thunder wasn't
Do
bad.
you really
want to
see Thunder?
Thunder wasn't that bad. Yes, absolutely. Thunder wasn't that bad at the beginning.
It was the second-rate show. None of the superstars showed up there.
That's not true. When it first started, it was a big deal, just like SmackDown.
Yeah, but like Hulk Hogan or Kevin Nash and Hall and all them, they never showed up to Thunder.
They did every once in a while. They
Oh, they
weren't on
did?
there every week.
Oh, I thought they never showed up.
They were there sometimes. It's just like John Cena on SmackDown. You see it more now.
Yeah,
but
you do.
You didn't used to.
Well, actually,
there were some guys on Raw you didn't see every week.
Yeah,
on
well,
SmackDown.
that was when they had the brand wars, which was cool because it actually meant that each brand was different. Now, if you're on Raw, you're on SmackDown.
No, because Dolph Ziggler used to be on both. And then he, while he was doing that, sometimes you see Del Rio on one, but not on both. Sometimes you see Big Show on one, not both.
It's the one guy that should have stayed off of Raw forever.
He should have stayed off TV.
Well, now he's in Lucha Underground, isn't he? Or no, TNA?
AAA.
AAA?
Yeah. Not Lucha Underground.
By the
No,
way,
actually, I think he is.
I
with
keep
him.
seeing a commercial during Raw about Lucha Underground for the El Rey Network, which, hey, by the way, DirecTV, I get El Rey, but I don't get Destination America. Thanks a lot.
It's okay. You ain't missing a lot.
Yeah.
Well, before we get going, it's a new segment for me. Yes. The truth shall set you free.
Was that Brett's voice in the beginning?
This is what I call the truth bomb.
Oh, God.
The Summitt truth bomb is here this week. You know, we had little JP's rants, but now we have the truth bomb.
We're evolving,
Right,
people.
the Summitt truth bomb is going to happen every week. So, you know, this week I want to talk about some things. The first thing I want to talk about, you know, big news. We didn't get to talk about it on the show, but I was in Ireland, so I didn't really get to talk about it. Hulk Hogan and his racist comments. You know, I heard the audio. Let me say this first before I go into it. No, that word should never be used. Not in any language now. Not anybody should use it. Black, white, green, Mexican, Italian, whatever. Brown. It doesn't matter what color you are. You should never use that word.
I was like, who's green?
The Hulk. The Hulk. Okay?
So the Hulk can't use
The
that
Hulk
word.
should not use that word. No one should use that word. You know, no one should use that language. No one should degrade people like that.
I agree.
I agree absolutely. That should never happen. Unfortunately, people do use it, and it's not right.
Yeah.
Saying that, Hogan, you know, said some bad things 8 years ago. Do I think he should pay for what he said 8 years ago? Absolutely. But to be distanced away from something because what he made a mistake 8 years ago, or if he still thinks that way, then that's another issue. But he should not be a role model for anyone. No one. Your role models should be your mom and dad. That should be your role models. Okay, not these athletes out here. And, you know, people will make mistakes. He made a mistake, you know, let him go away, but he will always be, I understand he will always be to me one of the best wrestlers in WWE, in the wrestling business. Okay, I'll never lose that. I've lost respect for him as a man. That doesn't mean I forget who he was.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. He's still Hulk Hogan.
Well, I agree with what you're saying, you know, but about the whole thing with the role models, though, I get that, but you have to remember this guy in the 80s, that was, you know, that was the whole point, was him to be a role model to these kids, you know, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, you know, listen to your parents, all of that kind of stuff, you know, that's what he said every day. And I'm on the same boat with you about it, is that it happened 8 years ago, but I understand WWE of why they did it, because they are a $1 billion company, and you can't have that negativity in the company right now, because especially, you know, with the stuff that's happened in the past, they don't need that. And they don't need, I mean, because Hogan is technically a spokesperson for that company. He is a spokesperson for that company. He goes around worldwide and, you know, for that company. So I understand why they did it. Now, do I think this is the last time we see Hogan? No. We'll see him again.
Well, I don't know if we will, to be honest with you. I don't think you'll see him in WWE. As far as a match, you know, there's always been a rumor that he'll have one more match. You'll never see that.
No.
But
I think you'll see him
at
again.
some point, do I think – thank you for letting me finish my comment there. Do I think he'll ever be back for a one-time event? Maybe, but I don't. You never say never.
Yeah.
But for a while, you will not see him. Do I think he'll be back? Probably not.
Now, for a while, what do you mean?
Years.
Okay, so you think this is going to take a few years to blow over?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, look at what's going on in society today.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you would. I don't think his comments should ban him from being part of wrestling, because guess what? He is part of wrestling history.
Yeah.
There's other Iron Sheik. Not Iron Sheik. There's other guys that have made mistakes.
Actually, Iron Sheik is one of them.
You know, Iron Sheik's made mistakes. Everybody has made mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, should they be banned for life?
No.
You know, I'm not. You know, and it's hard for me because I don't know how a African American feels about. I know I have friends that feel differently.
Yeah.
That think that they lost all respect for Hulk Hogan, and I have too.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost respect, and it's tarnished their childhood, they've said.
Well, it's kind of like, and this is a stretch, but it's kind of like the whole thing in baseball with, what's his name, with Pete Rose, about he's not allowed in the Hall of Fame because of the gambling he did years ago, even though everyone's forgotten about it, really, but he's still not allowed in the Hall of Fame. You know, what I'm saying is that, like, it might take a lifetime to see Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, and it might take a lifetime to see Hogan back in the WWE. It might take him a while.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah.
Even if you do see him, the only place you'll see him is a Hall of Fame induction, or you'll see him. You won't see him on TV.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll ever see him on Raw again.
But I bet he's still behind the stage.
You'll never see him as not right now, but you'll never see him on SmackDown.
Okay.
You'll never see him on Raw again. You'll never see him in those places like that. I think if you see him, you'll see him at WrestleMania weekend. Maybe Access at some point. It'll be a long time, but that's it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think it'll be a while. The next thing I want to talk about was this week. Hulk Hogan. We'll go back to Hulk Hogan again, or last week actually. No, it was this week. It was Tuesday. Excuse me. I'm still getting my days back together. Hulk Hogan was on Tough Enough. He's removed. They put The Miz to replace Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
All right, here's my issue. The Miz replacing a Hall of Famer on a TV? No! I know he's a reality-based guy and all this and that. I get it. I got you. But I want somebody that knows wrestling. We already got Daniel Bryan. We already got Paige. Paige has only been in the business. She's been wrestling 15 years, and she's real, or ever how long, she's real young. But she's only been WWE for a couple years.
Yeah.
For a year or so now. You know, and Daniel Bryan, he's been hurt. You know, he's been wrestling a long time. I want a WWE Hall of Famer to replace a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I don't want Miz to replace Hulk Hogan.
No, I understand. Yeah.
I want, you know, there's tons of guys you could went out and got. I know Piper and WWE's got conflicts right now.
Oh, yeah.
And there's other guys. But there's other people you could get to replace Hulk Hogan.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Okay.
What do you mean? He's been there.
No, you can't put Ric Flair in this.
Why not?
Ric Flair, no.
Why
Listen,
not?
I love Ric Flair, but you can't put him as a judge on Tough Enough.
Why not?
Because it's Ric Flair.
So?
Ric Flair, no.
He will be fine.
No, he would not. Let me tell you why. You could not trust Ric Flair to go out there and be a judge. Ricky Steamboat, okay. Arn Anderson, absolutely. Mike Rotundo, you know.
You're making a stretch now.
No, these guys are Dean Malenko, guys that work backstage. Larry
Zbyszko?
I mean, hello? The Miz? You're leaving The Miz in. Let me tell you how this week went. So they leave it up to the fans. I don't like the format because the fans, once again, saved ZZ. This guy, ZZ, is out of shape. He has not that. I've got more charisma than him. I think I have more charisma than this guy. But he keeps getting saved. He's been in the bottom 3 every single week but one, I think. And he keeps getting saved. They sent home Mata. This big old 6'7", 6'8" guy with a little mohawk down the middle. Perfect. He showed intensity. He's been, every week he's in the challenges. Some weeks he wins, some weeks he loses. But he's not dead last like ZZ is.
What do you expect? It is a reality-based TV. You want to know what people do? They pick these guys because they want to piss people off. They know this guy won't make it in the WWE.
This guy is not even he will not make it. I mean, unless he loses weight and gets in shape like he's been doing this week. They've been doing the show for 5 weeks now. He just now decided to work out to get in shape. That's what I'm saying. But you keep a guy around, and last week they got rid of Patrick, or 2 weeks ago. Another guy that was one of the favorites to win it.
Hey, he's kind of a cocky guy, though.
Well, he is, but you know what? Now they got rid of 2 of the best guys that was in the whole thing.
Yeah, well,
to keep a guy that doesn't care.
I hate to agree with JP on this, I really do, but it's the universe, man.
No, I know, and
the WWE universe.
That's what kills me about it is. But then you replace him with The Miz. The Miz is a judge of talent. Then we got this girl that he saves this week. He uses one of his saves to save this blonde-headed girl that is decent in the ring, decent talent. All she's got is good looks.
Yeah.
That's it. Looks like Maurice 2.0.
That's why he did.
Actually, it's smaller Maurice. But
small.
I'm like,
well, we still got Tanner. We still got Tanner left.
No, I'm rooting for Tanner. South Carolina boy, I'm rooting for him.
I thought it was North Carolina. Oh, yeah.
Bowling Springs, South Carolina.
Hey, still, man, look, if it comes down to him and ZZ, if ZZ wins, we got a problem.
ZZ's going to win the whole freaking thing.
No, if he wins, that's bull crap.
He'll be the last guy standing.
So?
Him or Josh will probably end up winning. But anyway,
it'll just be like the last Tough Enough where the old guy won, and then you don't see him do anything. That's what's going to happen. But if they pick these talented people, then they might do something with them in the ring. But if ZZ wins, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go, bye-bye, ZZ. Here's your money. Here's your 1-year contract, and then you get cut. This is going to happen.
No, and that's the situation is he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't, but that's how it is. But I get your frustration about the whole thing with The Miz, man.
Come on, dude. Don't leave it to The Miz.
Yeah.
And then my last kind of rant. Last 2 weeks we built Undertaker and Lesnar as the main event at SummerSlam. And the world title is not the main event. Look, I absolutely agree. Undertaker and Brock Lesnar should be a main event at SummerSlam. Absolutely. I ain't stupid. It puts butts in seats. It sells the tickets. But it should be a double main event. The heavyweight championship should always be one of the main events. Yeah. Okay? You should bill it as a main event. We need to get back to that. The last 3 or 4 years, we've got away from who cares about the heavyweight title anymore?
No one.
So we have to get back to that. And I'm not disrespecting Undertaker and Lesnar. I just think they need to push the heavyweight title. And then you got John Cena is now getting another shot at the heavyweight title at SummerSlam. That's my issue. Anyway, those are my rants.
No. We're not ending that rant right there. Come on. Talk about it.
What?
With Rollins and Cena. We don't need to see Cena versus Rollins.
No, we can talk about it in Raw. I'm just saying I don't like how the heavyweight title is getting pushed to the back burner again. Okay?
Yeah.
It needs to be at the forefront.
Yeah.
So
at least it's being defended.
Right, absolutely. It's being defended at least.
So at least we're seeing somewhere. Now the thing I don't like, and we'll get into it later about Battleground, but no title changes. We have seen no title changes for the last pay-per-view. So what does that mean?
That's fine.
I mean, because you're not going to have the U.S. title defended.
You don't know that yet.
Well, we don't. You're right.
It will be defended, I think. We'll see what happens, but it will be defended.
You think they'll do a champion versus champion match?
No,
throw both championships?
I don't think so, and I hope they don't, because you know what's happening right now in Ring of Honor?
What?
Jay Lethal's got the heavyweight title and the TV title.
Oh, no.
So they both have it. I don't, I'm okay with that in Ring of Honor, but not WWE.
Jay Lethal is champion right now?
Yeah. Hey, Jay Lethal has improved. He's good.
He's good, but
I'm just saying.
surprised.
No, I like Jay Lethal's fun, but that's a different company, different subject. I'm just saying they should have a 4-way. They'll figure out something at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
We can talk about it later.
Okay.
The last thing, the good thing I want to talk about, we don't have to go to detail, but the one great thing going on for me, there's a couple of things. The great thing in WWE right now to me is the Divas division.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Becky Lynch, that other
Will you
girl.
just stop about Becky Lynch?
Paige, not Bailey, Paige. Yes, Paige.
Oh, now you getting on my nerves. Don't you say my girl.
You know how bad it is now? I have forgotten about Paige. I'm naming Becky Lynch first.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
Well, besides Becky,
and you got Team Bad, Beautiful and Dangerous.
greatest faction in Divas history. I'm telling you, man.
I wouldn't put it ahead of Flawless.
Really?
I would not put it ahead of Flawless.
Okay, well, for right now, what we got going, better than Team Bella.
Oh, yeah.
Way better than Team Bella. No, but, gosh, Sasha Banks, stealing the show with Charlotte and Becky. All three of them stealing the show. And I'm waiting for the Becky and Sasha rematch on Raw, because I know it's going to happen, or they're going to have an event.
Well, and they, me and JP Melting Pot was talking earlier, this is the best. I think it's the group they have now is the best group since Trish and Lita group, and Ivory and all those women.
Yeah. And see, this is where I believe they need to just get rid of all the other divas. I know that sounds harsh, but you have 9 good divas right there. You have Brie, you have Nikki, you have Alicia, and then you have Paige, you have Becky, and you have Charlotte, and you have Naomi and Sasha and Tamina. Is that not a good roster? I think that's enough.
No, it's a good roster.
I don't think you need any more. Eva Marie needs to stay in NXT. Screw her. Get rid of Cameron. Bye.
Well, you see, Cameron. No, there's someone that will probably go away, but people like Eva Marie, you're going to push because she's got that look. She's different, just like Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch is different now. She's got that bright orange hair.
I just don't
that
like
look.
Eva Marie.
I know. Well, not a lot of people do, but you don't have to live with her.
Yeah.
Because she'll be up soon.
Well, because we know already, we have a few divas that aren't there anymore because they got rid of a few, I think. Well, Rosa Mendez, I don't know what they're doing with her.
Rose is there. We do have some other news about the divas we'll talk about after we talk about Raw. This week, Raw was from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm going to go to it pretty fast.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Well, that's where it's at, right?
I know, I love that.
It's like Kansas City, Kansas City.
Oh, it is. Kansas City. You didn't even say Kansas. You just Kansas City, Kansas City.
Right.
There's no Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I don't know what he's talking about over here. We had the Authority came out. SummerSlam will be 4 hours long, Triple H says, instead of 3. Cena comes out. Triple H books Rollins versus Cena for the U.S. title. My real fast, the problem with this is I don't like how Triple H and Stephanie go back and forth. Good, evil. You need to be one or the other.
Yeah.
All right. Stephanie did pretty good. She started doing yes chants and then said no.
Yeah.
It was funny. But anyway, we got that match. Then we had Big Show and Ambrose. Big Show wins by countout. Big Show misses Ambrose and goes through the barricade. Get Ambrose away from the Big Show.
It was still a good match, though.
It was a good
The
match.
ending was amazing.
No, it was a good match. Just get him away from him.
Oh, yeah.
Then we had Neville versus Fandango. And Neville wins with the red arrow. After the match, Stardust interrupts on the Titantron. He rips up he talks about the arrow. So it looks like they're still trying to push Stephen Amell Yes, that's his name. And Stardust at
Good job.
SummerSlam. Thank you. Then we had Paige, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte backstage. They get interrupted by Team Bad. Like I said, I can't say how great this is with all these divas. Then we had Paige versus Sasha. Sasha ends up winning with the bank statement. I can't believe she beat her that easily. Well, I mean, not that easily, but she did beat her. It'll be interesting to see what they do to the NXT Divas title. So we'll see.
I got news about that later, but we'll talk about that later. I got breaking news about the NXT title.
Okay. Right, breaking news. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Steven's got breaking news. Usually it doesn't happen. Rollins was backstage with Renee Young. And then Rusev comes out with Summer Rae, who looks like Lana again.
She looks pretty good.
and what's a shame, this is probably the segment of the night.
What?
One that, dude. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it probably was.
I guess you're right.
I mean, if you look at it, he comes out with Summer Rae. He gives her a dog. He names the dog Dolph Ziggler. He gives her a fish because Lana. He names the fish Lana because it's cold and everything else, like Lana.
And it's headless.
Yeah. Well, you can't keep the head on the fish.
Could.
And then Lana comes out. Lana puts Summer's face in the fish. She slaps Rusev and leaves. Then you got Lucha Dragons versus Matadors. New Day comes out holding a Mega Dad of the Year sign because Titus O'Neil won Mega Dad of the Year. Lucha beat the Matadors with a roll-up.
I didn't even know Kofi had kids.
He does. He recently, I think a year ago or so, had a son.
Oh.
It's just too many tag teams in this situation right now.
Yeah.
I want to see a good rivalry. Wyatt comes out with Luke Harper. They're back together. The clan is together again. Everything's good. What?
I have one question. This is my only question of all. Where is Eric Rowan?
He's hurt.
Is he?
Yeah, he's been hurt.
So we're going to see him join the Wyatt family if they do what they're going to do, which is Ambrose and Reigns versus the new Wyatt family.
No,
it's already been.
I think if they do that, I think there might be somebody else they add into it. We'll see.
Okay.
I think they'll add another person. I don't think it'll be Rowan. It might be though. We'll see. Then we have Becky and Charlotte versus Nikki and Fox. Probably match of the night. Becky wins with actually it's probably second best match of the night. Oh. Becky wins with the disarmor.
Disarm.
She looks great.
The disarmor is cool, but I liked it when she did the clover leaf. She used to do the clover leaf, and she doesn't do it anymore.
Well, I like the disarmor because it's a disarmor, and it looks better than Del Rio doing it.
Yeah.
So
everything looks better than what Del Rio
everything
does.
looks better on Becky. And then we got Orton versus Owens, match of the night here. Sheamus was on commentary. Orton wins by DQ after Sheamus bro kicks Orton outside the ring. Cesaro comes down. Owens hits Cesaro with a pop-up powerbomb. I love the rivalry with Owens and Cesaro.
Yeah.
I should have added this to my truth bomb that I hate it. Why is Kevin Owens not the U.S. champion? You could have done so much with him.
Yeah.
You could have put John Cena with Seth Rollins, and it wouldn't have mattered if he lost to Owens. But you put Kevin Owens. It's so stupid. Second year row. And I don't know if this is John Cena that is not ready to push these other guys and doesn't want to go away.
Yeah.
Or if it's the WWE. At some point, until they figure out in the WWE that we need to go with these young guys, until they figure out, you either go fully with these guys or you don't.
Yeah.
Okay? One or the other. You can't keep putting John Cena in the main event of the world title. You cannot do it every single time. You can't. Oh, John, I need you to be the world. I need you to go fight for the world title again.
Yeah.
You need to put all hands on deck. Say, here you go, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. Run with the world title.
Yeah.
See what you can do. You can't do a sample this week, a sample next week, and then pull it away.
I think, well, the thing that I hated was at Battleground was how Kevin Owens tapped out to the worst STF
Exactly.
I've
He's
ever
tapping
seen.
out.
Yeah, and he's always talking about he doesn't give up either. And you make this bad guy who is a great bad guy mimicking John Cena, being an ass and not being pushed.
You could have had Kevin Owens will be pushed, but it's just like Bray Wyatt a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You screwed up not letting Bray Wyatt beat John Cena.
I think you're
And
right.
now
though.
you're doing Kevin Owens.
I
I get on. I know.
No. I said I think it's more Cena, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's WWE because they know Cena sells the most merchandise, and they don't want Cena to lose because then they'll think, oh, Cena won't get anywhere. But he doesn't need to go anywhere.
He doesn't need to put over Seth Rollins as a heavyweight champion.
No.
Seth Rollins needs to go through the young guys. He needs to go through Dean Ambrose. We have not let Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns have a fair shot with the three of them running the World Championship division.
Well, I think that's what they're doing, though.
You could already turn one of them heel.
Yeah.
Or not. You could have kept them both face and had the three of them keep going for the title.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. They won't do it. And you could, meantime, while they are fighting for the world title, you could have had Owens and Cesaro fighting for the U.S. title at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And
no, see,
the
that would make
winner
more
of that,
sense.
the winner of that, we could have went straight to the world heavyweight title.
Again, that would have made more sense. Especially, I mean, Cena doesn't need to be in the world title picture anyways. We've been talking about that for years. But the problem is, though, is Kevin Owens has a great rivalry with Cesaro, and that rivalry could have been a title match. But instead, we're only going to get either
Probably.
we might get a U.S. title match at SummerSlam, but
Doesn't
from
look like
the
it.
way it looks, we ain't getting it.
Right. And they need.
And we ain't getting an Intercontinental either.
You need to turn the keys over to. You need to turn the car over to the guys.
Yeah. No, you're
letting
right.
them drive it, letting them go and see what they can do. Guess what? In a year, if it doesn't sell a lot of tickets, pull it back.
You think it's trust? You think WWE is just not trusting these guys anymore
Right.
again?
I think it's partially. I think it's partially that.
Yeah.
And I think it's partially the guys don't.
Want to give it up?
They don't know how to grab the brass ring. I think that's part of it. I mean, I don't. Even my boy Seth Rollins, I don't see the fire.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. I've seen it. I saw it a couple times with Ambrose. I see it. With Roman Reigns, I see it.
Yeah.
When it's John Cena, he's being overshadowed almost.
Yeah.
You know, he needs a dominant. If he fights John Cena at SummerSlam,
He needs
a dominant win.
Yeah.
Okay, and do not lose.
Yeah.
If he loses, you done buried him again.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. He cannot lose at SummerSlam if he fights John Cena.
No, he can't. And I don't think he will, but I think what's going to happen is you're going to see interference, which is what we don't want to see.
Right. You'll probably see somebody else interfere.
J&J's going to come back, or Kane's going to come back.
No, I think you might see Kane maybe. I don't think you'll see J&J. I don't know if you'll ever see J&J again. I don't know if you will, because I think you need to distance him from them. And the last thing, we had Rollins versus Cena for the U.S. title. Cena wins with the STF. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. He taps out so quickly when he puts STF on it.
See, and
go ahead.
Oh, well, all I was going to say is the thing, you should have at least let Rollins get disqualified or something, not let him tap out. He should have never tapped out. You're right. He should have never tapped out because you're making him look like a weak champion again, and he does not need to look like a weak champion, right?
Right.
I'm so confused, though. Like, Cena didn't have to win that way. He could have won disqualification, and then he would have kept the belt. I mean, wouldn't you want a heel to win dirty or play dirty instead of losing?
Yes, because we love dirty heels.
But that's what I'm saying. Does it not? What happened makes no sense. You basically set Seth Rollins back.
Right. Well, and we'll see. Hopefully, I don't think this. And during the match, there's been a lot of talk. Seth Rollins broke John Cena's nose, in case you didn't see it.
Oh, my God. Dude, it swelled twice the size, man. I saw it.
Yeah, so he smacked him pretty good.
Yeah. It was bad. It was they showed pictures on WWE Network afterwards. They showed on the app and everything. So, but what does that mean? Is that going to mean that Cena's going to be out? Does he have to
No.
wear protective gear? What?
Well, I mean,
he has a
maybe-
broken nose. What does that do, James?
Well, no, maybe he doesn't need, maybe he'll wear a mask.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. We're going to wear a mask.
Is he going to be the dashing John Cena?
Hey, whatever. It's okay. If he has to be, it'll be all right. Anyway, that was Raw. I thought Raw was okay.
Yeah.
Match of the night, I still think it's the Divas, Becky Lynch,
Mm-hmm.
and the tag team match.
Didn't like the Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
No, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton was match of the night. That was second.
Didn't like that. I mean, now I liked it because of the storylines, because I get what they're building, because Sheamus and Orton and Cesaro and Owens, cool. But I just felt like that's something. I didn't like the Nights of First, as they called it, because I felt like all those matches could have been saved for pay-per-views.
No, these were okay. I think the matches were good. These weren't the pay-per-view matches. They built it for the storyline.
Yeah.
We'll go right into who were your three stars of the night?
Okay. Okay. No. I was doing the music. I couldn't do it. Anyways. Well, my 3 stars, screw it. I'm giving it to the Divas. All 3 of them. Becky, Paige, and Sasha. No Charlotte this week. Sorry, Charlotte. All 3 of them get stars. Screw the other people. I mean, they stole the show. They really did.
Well, I'm going to give a star to Kevin Owens and Randy Orton for the match.
Was that 1 star?
That's 1 star. Man, I'm going to give one to Seth Rollins for breaking John Cena's nose.
That's a great star, isn't it?
No, I'm kidding. I kid. I'm going to give one to Paige. And then I'm going to give one to Becky Lynch. Just because I can.
I'm really surprised, because for the weeks, it's normally Rollins and Owens that get stars, but it's never Paige. Paige doesn't get as many stars as she should be.
I know.
getting.
Well, no. She always getting a star. Trust me. But I'm going with that. Those are my 3 stars.
Okay, good.
All right.
Good.
We're going to take a break, come back, and we'll talk about Soundoff. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Wrestling with Attitude.
Yeah.
On Stitcher, Spreaker, and iTunes.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say iHeart, but it's iTunes. I knew I had to catch
Sorry,
myself.
iHeart, you're not cool enough yet.
You're not hip enough
Yeah.
to be on the Summit's list.
Oh.
All right, I'm just kidding. This week's Soundoff. I don't know if you have a list. This week's Soundoff. Well, let's say next week. Okay, next week, because we're coming up on SummerSlam soon, is SummerSlam matches, top 5 SummerSlam matches of all time.
Okay.
Okay. This week, let's talk about the top 5 SummerSlams of all time.
Okay.
I'm talking about overall events, and then next week you can give me your matches.
Well, let me go ahead and just name mine. I have a few. And they're not in any order. This one is not in any order. SummerSlam 97, Heart and Soul. I thought the event was really good. I mean, it was mainly because of the main event, but I thought some of the other stuff was pretty good on the card. SummerSlam 98 was good. The whole event was pretty good. If I remember correctly, the main event was, who was it again?
Which one?
SummerSlam '98.
I don't have that on mine, but hold on, I'll tell you. Exactly. Okay. It was. I'm glad you were prepared for this.
Yeah, you know.
This one was, Stone Cold, The Undertaker. It was Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Triple H China defeated The Rock with Mark Henry.
In the ladder match.
Yeah. New Age Outlaws beat Mankind.
Mm-hmm.
Was he by? Oh, he was a handicap match. Shamrock beat Owen Hart with Dan Severn. Edge and Sable. Edge and Sable beat Mark Mero and Jacqueline in the mixed tag match. You had the hair match, X-Pac, Jeff Jarrett. We had the Oddities beat Kai and Tai in a handicap. Yeah. D-Lo beat Val Venus by DQ. DOA beat Bradshaw and Vader. Gangrel beat Dustin Reynolds, and Too Much beat LOD.
Doesn't that sound like a great card? Doesn't that sound like
that was a great card. That was a Highway to Hell match.
Yeah, no, see, that was, I just thought that SummerSlam was really good. The other SummerSlam was SummerSlam 2000. That was the one where we saw the first TLC match.
In Raleigh.
Yeah. It was the one where we saw the first TLC match, and I thought the main event was pretty good, too. But, I mean, the TLC stole the night, but... also, I like it because it was in Raleigh. It was actually a SummerSlam near us for once, and but those are like basically my 3 SummerSlams. It's just events are hard for me because I really just remember one match that really stood out. You know,
well, I want you to give me not your matches because we want to save that next week.
Yeah,
but give me the overall event because I can tell you right now, top of my head, you know what? My number one WrestleMania is. WrestleMania 17. Every time you ask me, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, because it was a good card.
The whole event was amazing.
Yeah. Well, but those are the 3 that I could really that I could really say because the rest, all I can really remember is one good match. Okay, 95. That's my last one. Or was it 95? No, 96. Sorry, SummerSlam 96. The one with. Stone Cold versus Owen Hart was one of them, and then the main event was, what was it, Bret Hart, not Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, was it? Yeah. Was it?
Yeah, which one?
SummerSlam 96.
96?
Yeah. Well, where Stone Cold got his, he basically got like a head trauma from it, but...
That was, That wasn't that. That was at WrestleMania. Oh no, that was SummerSlam. You right?
SummerSlam.
That was SummerSlam.
It was a good SummerSlam too. It was a boiler room match too. That was it. Yeah.
That was when Rock 2000, right? Or 96?
It was 96.
Oh, 96. I'm sorry.
Or Owen did the tombstone or did the pile driver on him and
hurt him.
Yeah. That's what I remember, but I also remember the boiler match. The boiler match was really good in that one.
No. It's 96, dude. You're off a year. I think you're off a year.
No, that's what I said. I said 96.
No, yeah, I think you're off a year or so because Stone Cold beat Yokozuna that year. Owen Hart beat Savio Vega. I think it was 97.
But it wasn't Heart and Soul.
No, that wasn't Heart and Soul. I'm saying the one you told me, though, 96 was... Yeah, it wasn't that one. But I know. Heart and Soul was 97.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's it. Stone Cold beat Owen Hart. Bret Hart beat The Undertaker.
Oh, and that was 97?
With Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee.
Okay, well, the 96 was the one with the boiler match.
Right.
And the boiler room match. I do remember that. And the main event was... Shawn Michaels was in the main event, wasn't he?
Yes.
Shawn Michaels versus Vader.
Shawn Michaels at 97 was a guest referee.
Yeah, I'm talking 96, though.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So
those are mine, 96, 97, 98, and 2000. Those were okay to me. I thought those were
yours?
Yeah.
All right. I have to say the one the one in Raleigh, that was 2000. For me, I'm gonna go here. One I'm gonna mention real fast. My number one was probably 2002.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to say it was Angle beat Mysterio by submission. Flair beat Jericho. Edge beat Eddie Guerrero. The Un-Americans, Lance Storm and Christian, one of the greatest tag teams ever, beat Booker T and Goldust. Rob Van Dam beat Benoit. Undertaker beat Test. Oh, okay, forget it. Shawn Michaels beat Triple H in the unsanctioned street fight when he came back. And Lesnar beat The Rock for the world title.
Okay.
The only time those two have met. I'll say mine, that's number 4 for me. The next one, I'm going to go that would be number 5. Number 4 for me was 90, which year is this one? 92.
Okay.
Yep, this is when British Bulldog beat Bret Hart in Wembley. Right, that's one of my all-time favorite ones because it was in Wembley and the atmosphere was just amazing. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Have you seen that one yet?
The one in Wembley, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the
1992?
British Bulldog versus Shawn Michaels, right, for the Intercontinental.
Exactly.
And Shawn Michaels won.
Yep.
Because that led up to the one night only in '97. They talked about that. Remember that? Yeah.
That's one of my all-time favorites.
That was one of the only ones in England, correct?
Right.
One of the only SummerSlams I think they ever went cross seas.
It's the only pay-per-view that's been across seas.
One night only was.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's not the same. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
The next one will be, for me, number 3, will be SummerSlam 2008.
Ooh.
Undertaker beat Edge. Batista beat John Cena. Triple H beat the Great Khali for the WWE title. CM Punk beat JBL for the World Heavyweight title. Matt Hardy beat Mark Henry by DQ. Glamorilla defeated Kofi Kingston and Mickie James. MVP beat Jeff Hardy, and the Big Show beat Bam Neely.
Who?
Bam Neely. Yes, Bam Neely, the one and only Bam Neely.
Okay, whatever.
If you remember him.
Nope.
The next one I'm going to mention, number 2 for me, SummerSlam 1991.
Okay.
That would be Coco Beware beat Kato, British Bulldog, Ricky Steamboat, Texas Tornado beat Power and Glory, and the Warlord. Bret Hart beat Mr. Perfect. Natural Disasters beat the Bushwhackers with Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Virgil beat Ted DiBiase. Big Boss Man beat the Mountie. That was in jailhouse match. LOD beat the Nasty Boys in a street fight. IRS beat Greg Valentine. And Hogan and Ultimate Warrior beat Sergeant Slaughter and Mustafa and General Adnan.
Oh, my God.
What? I went old school for you.
Yeah, no, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
I forgot completely about that one, man.
And to top my list off, because I'm an old school guy, I'm going to go 1994. This was when it's Undertaker versus Undertaker with Ted DiBiase. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. Those two, Jeff Jarrett and Mabel. Tatanka beat Lex Luger. Razor beat Diesel. Alondra Blaze beat Bull Nakoni. RS and Bam Bam beat the Head Shrinkers. And Adam Bomb beat Quang. Those are my lists.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like 94. I do remember the whole thing about Undertaker versus Undertaker. I thought that was a little overrated, but the rest of the matches were pretty good. I wanted to talk about something real quick.
Go ahead.
I've been, watching WWE Network lately, and they got this new thing on there called WWE List. It's kind of like their version of Countdown without really, going top 10 or anything, but they talk about basically, what they want to talk about. I think one of them was about coolest swag, like, all the toys and stuff in the 80s and all that. And one was like Foxiest Divas and all this other stuff. And Alicia Fox isn't on there for Foxiest Divas. Is that messed up?
She shouldn't be.
Anyways, so they have this one called The Other Guys. And I want to talk a little bit about this. The ones that they mentioned, they start off with Bart Gunn from the Smoking Guns, if you remember who that guy is. Remember what he was famous for?
For the, hold on. The Brawl for All.
Ding, 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 we got a winner. And then, he's also famous for getting his lights knocked out by Butterbean at a WrestleMania moment. But, yes, they talked about him and talked about how he went nowhere. And then they talked also about Harlem Heat. They talked about Stevie Ray. What was Stevie Ray famous for afterwards?
After what?
After Harlem Heat. What did he do?
He formed a new Harlem Heat.
Yeah?
With, hold on. Ahmed.
Yeah, that's right. One of my favorites of the 96.
Yeah.
Best in-your-house performer. All right. And so they talked about Harlem Heat. They talked about so a lot of these guys, they're pretty famous that we know. In my opinion, Bart Gunn and Stevie Ray, maybe it's just because I've been watching most of them lately on WWE Network. I know who they are. And I don't feel that they were very, like they didn't really do anything. Another was the Steiner brothers. They talked about how Rick didn't do anything after the Steiner brothers kind of broke off, and how Scott became like the huge star.
Well, they pushed Rick Steiner a lot, but he never really got over.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get that. And then another one was the Skyscrapers. Now, if you remember the original Skyscrapers was, and I can't believe I'm making this reference, making it for old Melton Pot, was Psycho Sid and, what was it, Dan Spivey, if you remember Mr. Dan Spivey. And we'll talk about who he was later. But Dan Spivey and Psycho Sid, or Sid Justice, whatever you want to call him at the time, was the Skyscrapers with Teddy Long as their manager, which was horrible. But anyways, Psycho Sid got hurt, I think. I think he got injured. I think he had his leg got injured or something, and he couldn't compete. And, everybody's like, oh, well, Dan Spivey will be fine unless they bring in, like, this main eventer or somebody to overshadow him. And who do they bring in to be his tag team partner, James?
Mark Callis.
And who is Mark Callis?
It's the Undertaker.
Okay.
I'm glad you actually know some of this
Oh,
stuff.
I do,
I'm
man.
surprised.
I do my research now.
All right,
Wink.
well, good.
Anyways.
Please don't wink at me anymore, because I'm getting ready to play a song for you.
So, anyways.
If you wink at me while you're listening to Dirty YS, you're banned off the show.
I'm gonna be over here. No.
You ain't got nobody to play to anymore, but
It's okay.
me. It's scary.
I got a memory of a person that used to sit there.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you know who Dan Spivey became after he broke up when the Skyscrapers
Nails.
were no more?
Nails.
Okay, before that.
No, I can't remember the guy's name. Who?
Waylon Mercy.
Yeah, I remember Waylon Mercy dyed his hair black and everything.
I thought the guy was pretty good, just not for the time. But I thought, like, the character was a really creepy, dark character.
The character was horrible. Absolutely
No.
horrible. No.
It was a Bray Wyatt type character.
No, Waylon Mercy was horrible. He was like a mixture of Elvis and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, he was.
It was horrible.
He was the stalker of the South.
It was horrible.
What was wrong with it?
Because Dan Spivey was not that type of. That wasn't him.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes you play a guy that is not you. Okay. Dan Spivey was all American.
Yeah.
He was George. He was an athlete, man. You got to remember, Undertaker was an athlete before he got 65 years old. But no, I'm just saying
Well, they said he had a better mullet.
Dan Spivey did have a better mullet, but he was a tough guy, and they made him into this Waylon Merce. He wasn't that type. The character didn't work because they didn't connect with anybody.
You have to admit, complete transformation. Like, for a guy that went from something of an All-American to a complete psychopath Southern drawl kind of guy, it was kind of cool. Now, last but not least, the original OG, as they like to call it, the Rockers. And as they have a name for it in the business, apparently, you don't want to be known as a Marty Jannetty.
No, you don't. I mean, you don't want to be, as in my business, you don't want to be known as a little Steven.
No, you're my Marty Jannetty, sir.
Dude,
Sorry.
I am never your Marty Jannetty. Remember who the king of this land is in here.
Well, did you just use one of my things? First it was Radio Land. Now we got the king of the land? No, sir.
Land.
This is my land.
No, you're in Larry Land still, which is located in Portland, Oregon.
I am not Larry
Land.
Land.
Yes.
Larry Zabisco's not even in Larry Land.
You know, Scott Ely's already sent you out to Portland, Oregon to visit. All right.
Damn it, Scott.
You're out there scouting for WrestleMania 45.
Yeah, I am.
Right, so stay out there.
Hopefully we make it to 45.
You and Roddy Piper out there. No, but anyway.
I didn't know he was out in Portland, Oregon. I'm going to have to say hi to him.
Well, he's out there in Washington. Close enough. Go say hey to
Well,
him.
anyways.
Anyway, go ahead.
The Rockers. So we all know the whole thing with the Rockers is that Shawn became the star and Marty got left in the dust. That's
that
the
what
whole
happened?
point of the other guys. So now one thing I want to ask you before we end this segment, are there any other guys that you remember from tag teams that
are other guys?
Yeah, that never made it famous? From not ones that I've already mentioned.
Let's think of one. Do you remember Man on a Mission?
Man on a Mission. Oh, that was
Mabel and Oscar and Mo.
I remember Mabel.
Exactly. That's my point.
Okay.
You remember Mabel? Man on a Mission was one of those teams.
Okay.
You said Bart Gunn already. Man, who else?
About Billy and Chuck. Don't really
No,
know Chuck.
Chuck was known WCW. He was over. Chuck was a Lex Luger type of guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because when he was pretty good. He was tag team champion before he went to WWE.
I forgot you're watching your WCW in 2000.
Well,
You
I
should know
remember
all
that
about
anyway.
Chuck.
I remember that anyway because I liked them natural born thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
You could also say Matt and Jeff Hardy. Because, I mean, you think about it, Jeff is always the guy. I mean, the other is always going to be Matt Hardy. You could think of Team 3D.
Matt was always a tag team wrestler. Yeah.
But you think about it, the main, who did everybody always love?
Jeff.
It was Jeff.
It was always.
The same with the Dudley Boys. Bully Ray Bubba Ray has always been the one.
Yeah.
All right. Devon's always been the other guy.
I could see that.
Rock and Sock connection. Say what you want about Mankind. Everybody loved The Rock. That's another one.
I don't count that
Why not?
because they were both famous before then.
They were famous, but not as much as the other guys. But The Rock overshadowed. Okay.
So
if it wasn't for The Rock, Mankind would have been forgotten during that time.
Yeah, during that time, but he would have came back. He would have.
Probably not.
Dude, I disagree with.
No, he might, but we don't know. I want to say Billy Gunn almost, but Billy Gunn's he's never was that main event guy.
What about the Hollywood Blondes? Would you say that?
I thought about that, but no.
No, because Brian Pillman was just as good as Stone Cold at
Brian
the time.
Pillman, if he didn't pass away, rest his soul, you don't know what would happen.
You're right.
Those two different situations.
Heart Foundation.
Anvil Neidhart.
Yeah.
Natty's dad. Yeah, that's another one. You know, look who overshadowed. You could say the same thing with the British Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Who
was the other?
The Bulldog, Dynamite Kid.
Oh, okay.
Dynamite Kid was awesome, but, you know, here's another one for you. Lance Storm and Just Incredible.
Yeah.
You know, Lance Storm overshadowed Just Incredible. Just Incredible was good.
Edge and Christian?
No, that's a good one. No, Edge had a better career than Christian did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But Christian still had a career though. So actually, I can't. I want to take that back.
No, you're right though, and that's one of my favorite all times. But Edge when you look at the tag teams, Edge stuck out.
Yeah.
Okay, just like the Hardys.
But Christian still had a good run on his own. He still was a good Intercontinental Champion.
He had a good run, but it will never be on the level of Edge.
No.
Is my point. Okay, Edge's career overshadows his.
But I wouldn't call him a Marty Jannetty. Like I wouldn't. He's not another guy.
You wouldn't call him Marty Jannetty, but you wouldn't call him. If you had 2 tickets to Hall of Fame, which ones will get in? If you have 1 ticket to Hall of Fame, which ones will get in?
Edge is getting in.
Edge is getting in. Christian ain't getting in like Edge
No.
does. All right. If you had an IC champion Hall of Fame, then Christian would get in.
Yeah.
Or a tag team. That would be different. But these are some guys. You can almost say, I ain't going to say Samoan SWAT team.
Why not?
Because it was different. You could Too Cool and Rikishi. Rikishi overshadowed the other two.
Well, they always talked about because they talked a little bit about the Samoa SWAT team, about how Rikishi became a star and the other guy never did.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing.
All right.
Real fast, we're going to do dirty what ifs.
Okay.
Dirty. Filthy. Nasty. Nasty.
What if? What if? What if?
All right, this week's what ifs was, what if Vince McMahon is convicted in 1994 of steroids in U.S. federal court, of dealing steroids to his WWE wrestlers?
Then we would have saw the WWE.
He was found innocent. Huh?
Then we would have saw WWE a lot quicker. Because wasn't that the whole point?
Well, no, the whole point of this was because the Wildlife Foundation.
Oh. I thought, because I've also heard from wrestlers, and this might not be true, but I know a lot of indie wrestlers have told me because he changed it to entertainment because then he can't, like, if they were caught with steroids, it's a different. Is that not true? Or
I've heard that too, but
I don't know if that's.
Well, I always heard it's because it was the foundation, the Wildlife Foundation sued them because of the name. Okay. Now, yes, I could believe he changed it some of that for that reason too. I don't think that's the only reason, but I think that might be some of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the problem: if he went to jail, okay, the company ships over to Linda McMahon.
Linda.
Yeah, because Linda would have took over the company.
Yeah.
We don't know what would happen.
No, we don't. We don't.
They would have to place an even larger on Shawn Michaels, emphasis on Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. And I think the gimmicks maybe would have went away quicker.
Yeah.
But I don't. It wouldn't have been the same. I don't think if Vince wasn't there.
No.
I couldn't see Stephanie or Shane doing because they needed to evolve with their dad.
Well, I think what would have happened, he would have done his time and would have came back. I think that's. I literally think that. I think the product wouldn't been as good maybe, or we would have saw somebody else take the shoes, but we would have always still saw a WWE. I don't think WCW would have took over. I don't think any of that would have happened. I just think it would have been in a crappy situation, and we would have saw like maybe later. The Attitude Era would have been later than the 90s, the late 90s. We would have saw the Attitude Era maybe 2002. You know. Like, I still think we would have saw it. I still think we would have saw the breakout stars.
Yeah.
Just the only problem I think we would have had was Stone Cold.
Right.
I think Stone Cold wouldn't have been as big because, as we've said for the longest time, Stone Cold, and without Stone Cold, there was no McMahon. Without McMahon, there was no Stone Cold. And we do believe that. You know?
need one for the other.
Yeah.
You need a dance partner.
And I think that would have been the only bad thing, though. I really do. I think they would have had to find another McMahon for Stone Cold. They would have had to find someone to be that kind of person, which would have been tough to find. I do. Maybe Shane could have done it. Wouldn't have been the same, though. So, That's what I think of the what if. I mean, I think the company still would have strived. It still would have gone on, but the product probably wouldn't have been as good for that time.
Yeah, I think that would have been good, but you don't know what will happen.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. It may have been as good, but we don't know.
You're right.
And thank goodness that we didn't have to see that, because who knows?
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened the way it did because it worked out.
Yeah. No, it did. It worked out.
I don't know if the company will evolve the way it did.
Well, I don't think he would have gotten in trouble for it anyways. Because,
Why not?
well, the thing is that you could tell a wrestler you can't take steroids and all this, but they still find ways to do it.
Yeah.
They can do it behind your back.
Does that. Anybody does that in life, dude.
Yeah. I mean, they can fake drug tests. They can do anything. So, in my opinion, you can't blame it on the company owner. You can, but that's not going to solve the solution. You know what I mean? It's an individual's thing. And it goes back to what we were talking about 2 weeks ago on the show about athletes and steroids. If they really want the drugs, they can find it.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter on the company. Like, they can't sue the whole NFL for one player doing drugs. They can try, but it's not going to do anything. You know? I mean, it's just how I feel on that. I just don't. And that's the thing. That's why I mean, it's a long stretch that would have happened. But if he would have went to jail for that, I still think that we would have saw the product. It just wouldn't have been as good. So.
I don't know, man. I think it. I mean, she wasn't. I don't think we've seen them at the time we did now.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit different, but you know, I think it could have happened.
Yeah.
But Linda, I couldn't have done the Stone Cold thing the way that Vince did.
No.
Stephanie couldn't have done the way Vince did. Shane couldn't have done it the way Vince did.
No.
And I think that's the biggest difference.
And I don't think they could have went into the Attitude Era without Vince.
Right.
I really do believe that.
There's no way. There's no question about that. They had to have Vince during that time. You had to. For one, you need, if you don't do it like the dance partner, you need one for the other.
Now, here's a what if for you of this, though.
What?
If this would have happened, do you think the Click would have still been around in WWE?
That's a good.
Do you think the Click would have ever left?
I think Linda would have overspent maybe, and paid for them to stay.
And so you think the Click would have ran
Maybe.
for a few years?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
Well, there's our what ifs. We didn't talk about Battleground this week, but Steven and his little team of New Attitude One picks. Yeah. Next week we have Soundoff again. We're going to do top 5 matches of all time at SummerSlam. So tweet us at WWA Show. Visit our website. Let us know what at WrestlingAttitude.com. Let us know what you think. And anything else you want to add, Mouth?
No, I'm good, man. I'm
right.
golden.
All right. From the Summitt and the mouth of the Carolinas,
Hey.
we'll catch us next week.
Ladies and gentlemen.